मॅडम आमकां असो प्रश्न आयलो आसा. हॅलो
हॅलो या हॅलो डॉक्टर सी माझी चेडवाक आनी चेड्याकूय न्हू सकाळी फुडें सांजेच्यो खुंयच्याय वखदार शिंको येता.
तुमच्या घराकडे टीव्हीचा आवाज कमी करा मॅडम. तुमच्या घराकडे टीव्हीचा आवाज कमी करा. अच्छा एज किती त्यांची?
एकल्याची 22 आणि एकल्याची 9 hours.
You want to ask any question?
No, this is allergic rhinitis. Classic allergic rhinitis symptoms जे असतात ते सकाळचे as soon as the child gets up they sneeze and about in an hour's time the child feels better, you know. So this is can be treated in two ways. One way you can treat it by giving a nasal spray and second way is to again find out what the allergy is. So this most likely is a dust mite allergy. So in which case we will first try avoidance measures, in which case the mattress पळोवंक जाय, pillow पळोवंक जाय, clean that up, try and not dust and sweep when the child is in the room. So हे सगळें करूंक जाय. But dust mites are maximum in the mattress, pillows, carpets, curtains, things like that, So ते करून suppose the child is still doing it, then we can definitely consider desensitization of the child.
Madam, just out of curiosity I'm asking you की आता तुम्ही म्हणाले desensitization, usually are our medical practitioners practice that or recommend that?
Well, it depends on the exposure of the medical practitioner. If the medical practitioner has gone for conferences and heard that this can be done, then yes, they will recommend. But if they haven't heard, then again there could be a myth that this doesn't work or it works, So, but if they are aware of it, then I think they would definitely.
Basically, science is changing and
science has
change is constant.
Correct.
So we should always be prepared and accept the changes, and if it is for the good and in the interest of the patient, I think anybody should accept it.
Very true.
Doctor, madam, आमका एक प्रश्न आसा. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
हाँ विचारा.
डॉक्टर म्हाका ते रातची जेवलो न्ही बागेत वयतकीर म्हाका फक्त न्हीद म्हाका मातशे वेळ पडटा आनी रोखडें पोटाक भूक लागता परत आनी परत म्हाका न्हीद पडना.
तुमकां डायबिटीस आसा?
ना तसलें कांयच ना.
चेक करूं पयला?
हय सगळें पयला सगळें नॉर्मल.
हाँ नाही भूक लागता जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता तुमी कमी खाता आसतले.
ना पोट भर जेवता हांव.
तुम्ही मागीर जेन्ना भूक लागता तेन्ना सॅलड खायात. आय थिंक दॅट इज वन बेस्ट वे. I would not give additional calories and तुम्ही try करा. थोडंसं सॅलरीज additional खाल्ले म्हणून सॅलड खाऊन काय प्रॉब्लेम ना. I think this is the best way of handling it.
This is not an allergy.
Yeah, this is not an allergy. तर डॉक्टर आम्ही उलयताले की there should be awareness. दुसरे म्हणजे एक awareness among the patients as well as among the doctors.
Very much.
कारण एक असो जो समज आशिल्लो की ह्या टाइपचे sensitization जी आशिल्ले की we used to think this is something like homeopathic practice. It will take some ages.
Yes.
So how you will means what is your opinion about this?
Yeah, now a lot of people would consider it something like homeopathy, but it's not. It's absolutely pure allopathy. So what we do is it's extremely precise today. So when I get the antigen, it is an extremely purified antigen and it is measured by spectrophotometry and it is 10,000 protein nitrogen units per ml. Now let's say the patient is extremely allergic, then I will do the dilutions much more. So it is a tailor-made process. It is not for
each one to one.
So one to one, for example. So it's extremely tailor-made.
And it is more scientific. It is not just something we are trying alternate medicine or something that type of.
No. This is absolutely allopathic science. It's been practiced in the US for the last 30 years. It's been in Europe. It's extremely common. It's called sublingual immunotherapy, SLIT. I practiced SLIT because here to get someone to come for injections 3 times a week is not possible. Plus children are afraid of doctors for that reason. So sublingual has been a real boon to us. It's in glycerine, so it doesn't evaporate, and the patient does it at home by themselves. So it's basically introducing the drop under the tongue. So the dendritic cells under the tongue see that particular antigen and start to get desensitized to it. This is how it's an antigen presenting cell which is presented.
So it is no more with the injections and
no, not necessary. It's under the tongue you have a very large number of dendritic cells which are antigen presenting cells and they can see the antigen.
Okay. Doctor, a question, sir. Hello.
Hello. Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Damodar Prabhu from Parvari.
Damodar Prabhu, प्रश्न विचारा.
before I come to the question, I must praise you and compliment you for being a perfect host. A host should never dominate the guest. In fact, he should be able to navigate the show in a very professional way, which you do, unlike Arnab Goswami or Rajdip Sardesai.
Okay.
Now I'm coming to the question.
Yeah.
It's related to diabetes. As we all know, diabetes is mother of almost all the illnesses.
Yeah.
So what are the skin problems that could occur on account of diabetes? If the doctor can highlight those. And what care should be taken?
Okay.
Well, I think you'll need a dermatologist to answer these questions because it's not really an allergy.
Yeah.
But the skin problems I can answer a little bit.
Yeah.
The skin problems with the diabetic patient is essentially pruritus. The patient comes with a lot of itching, scratching.
Correct.
Also eczema, which is underlying, also can be enhanced because of diabetes. So one of the things that I do when a patient comes with eczema, especially an older patient, is that first we check to see if they're diabetic. Because if it's diabetic, then treating the diabetes is the most important thing. There's no point treating the eczema. In this case, the eczema is being caused by the diabetes, and so treating that will take care of the eczema.
So I think question is answered, and again they come with lot of burning sensation. That is also part of the neuropathy, and I think they should first is that controlling diabetes.
Control the diabetes.
Masa madam एक प्रश्न sir. Hello.
Hello.
हाँ.
Hello doctor. श्रद्धा उलयता.
श्रद्धाबाई प्रश्न विचार.
डॉक्टर म्हाका न्ही ताळ्याकडे अशी इरिटेशन कशी जाता थंडी. मग ते कित्या खातीर काय म्हणून खूप तेंप अशी थंडी उरता अशी नाकांतल्यान फ्लो जायना पण ताळ्याकडे अशी अडखडलेल्या भशेन जाता.
नाही पण तुमका कितें खाल्याशें जाता कितें खाल्या ते वाटता किंवा खंय श्वास घेतल्या
क्युकंबर खाल्ल्यार अशें वाटता. म्हणजे अशें थंड अशें वाऱ्याक गेल्यार किंवा आयस्क्रीम खाल्ल्यार आनी अशें थंडी अशी ताळ्याक अशें करचें पडटा मजे मध्ये म्हणजे इरिटेशन कशें जाता थ्रोता कडेन.
This is called a post-nasal drip. So, then when you have allergies in the nose, then the sinuses also get inflamed as a secondary phenomenon to the underlying allergy. So, what happens is it comes down the throat. And as you know, a tap which is leaking will cause corrosion. So, similarly, this post-nasal drip that is always dripping will cause cobblestoning of the throat. So, you'll always feel there's some irritation in the throat that is there, and then you keep doing to try and clear it. So, you might try and clear the postnasal drip, the mucus, but you'll also try and clear the cobblestoning, which doesn't really happen. And the second reason with the cold air and things like that.
Yeah, she has mentioned about
cucumber. Cold air and cucumber, I'm not really sure, but cold, yeah.
One more question I have.
Yeah.
Is it related to asthma?
It can lead, an allergy can lead to asthma at a later date.
Because the duration, if it is of 3 or 4 months.
Yes, then it can lead to, because the underlying thing is an allergy, and that can lead to asthma at a later date, yes.
I think this is like a viva. You can cut off the line. What is it? What I was asking, like basically एक प्रश्न म्हणजे I'm just stretching this question. ताणे म्हटलं की आईस्क्रीम खायला सोड जाता आणि खूपशा फावटी भुरग्यांनी बी अशें आमी पळयतात की when they especially they eat ice cream and they get cold. So what is your advice? Because these are children, we cannot tell them not to eat ice cream.
Now it depends on, let's put an analogy. If you have a wound and you put salt on it, it pains. Right? If there is no wound, the salt will not pain.
Correct.
Similarly with the cold air and ice cream, if there is no underlying wound, they won't have a problem.
Correct.
So at the wound treat then the child can eat ice cream, but in that time when the child is not well, obviously you have to withhold the ice cream and cold air and things like that. So it is an aggravating factor, but it is not the primary cause of the repeated colds and things like that.
So it is aggravating factor.
Yeah, it's an aggravating factor always, and even viral infections can aggravate an underlying allergy.
अच्छा madam, now let's I must twist करता question. Often we say कि often they say कि even your mind has a role to play in as far as these allergies are concerned.
Yes.
And another new therapy, psychoimmunotherapy is also coming up.
Correct.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have also a lot of your experience and your expertise, and you teach meditation to take care of this type of problem. So you just elaborate on this topic.
Any disease has an organic component, in which case there is something going on, and a psychosomatic component. And asthma is a very well known disease that has quite a large psychosomatic element. And also eczema. You know, the child or the adult who's upset about something is more likely to scratch, because itching is a way of manifestation of a psychosomatic element. So in those cases, of course, we will remove the organic element, there's no doubt. But also finding out from the patient what is the real reason. So a lot of times the patient says that they have marital problems, or they have home problems, they have problems like that. So in that case, I would try and sort that out also, as opposed to just treating the patient with different medications. So meditation has a wonderful role in this particular psychosomatic part of asthma. What the person learns to do with controlling the breath is to control their mind, which will control some of the so-called problems that one has, because we realize that a lot of problems are our own doing. How we perceive a problem is how we react to the problem. So if we didn't think the problem was a big deal, we wouldn't react, and therefore the symptoms of asthma would be much less. So I have put a few patients on meditation, people who didn't have such a strong organic component but had much more of a psychosomatic component. So in this case, I would ask them to come to where I teach meditation once a week. It's completely free. So I say, come and learn it. So once I learn the technique, I've seen that the patient has done really well. And the patient then says, not only has their asthma subsided, but also their other problems have come down. Acidity is another thing that can come up, anxiety can come up. So all these various diseases can be psychosomatic in nature as well as organic.
In this meditation program, do you go for some yogic exercises like Anulom Vilom, Kapalbhati and this type of exercises, or it is more of a mental exercise?
It's mainly a mental exercise, though I do know all the various pranayams, because when the patient's lungs are already affected, at that moment when they are irritated, trying a pranayam may not be the best option. Secondly, they should then go to also a proper teacher, because pranayam can be very dangerous in the wrong hands.
Absolutely.
So, and I am not trained as a pranayam teacher, so I definitely would not teach them. But meditation is a mental activity, and as you know that if you can relax the parasympathetic nervous system, then the alveoli also can relax. Just like the muscles can relax, everything can relax, and that would also help the patient greatly.
In a longer run. Longer run. Doctor, I think we have got a question. Hello.
Hello. Dotor, हांव विनीत चारी कोकोच्यान उलयतां.
विनीत बाब प्रश्न विचार.
म्हाका न्ही प्रॉब्लेम आसा मातशे टॉन्सिल्साचे. थोड्या दिसांनी एसिडिटी जाली न्ही, माजे व्हाईट स्पॉट डेव्हलप जाता ताळ्या भितर, आनी ते वचत ना, कंटिन्यू 8 दीस उरता, गिळपा सुद्दां त्रास जाता. सो म्हाका एक कितें सजेशन दिवचें, कशें लागून, कित्याक लागून व्हाईट स्पॉट डेव्हलप जाता सारके.
नाही, पण एसिडिटी जाल्या पण जाता.
हय, एसिडिटी जाली उपरांत एक 2 दिसांनी बेस जाता ते. हय,
पण एसिडिटी कित्याक लागून जाता
ते म्हणल्यार मे बी जेवणा लागून सकाळचें बेगीन वचपा पडटा कामां.
पण अशें तुमकां आसना कितें स्पायसी खालें, चिकन खालें, मटन खालें?
ना, तेजो कांय फरक पडना चडसो.
शुअर?
हय हय, इवन थंड सुद्दां खाल्यार म्हाका फरक पडना, पण ते व्हाईट स्पॉट डेव्हलप जाता.
नाही, व्हाईट स्पॉट एसिडिटीक लागून डेव्हलप जाता, पण एसिडिटी कित्याक लागून जाता हें हांव काडूंक सोदतां.
ना, ते अजून म्हाका.
This looks like GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So here has been now more and more shown to cause sinusitis and to cause, of course, irritation of the throat and the tonsils and cough as well. So this is one of the newer things that have come up. So I think if he maintains, like you said very clearly, what is causing the acidity, and we treat that, then this whole problem should go down by itself. There's no need to treat this problem particularly.
So I think my sub question was
absolutely correct.
Unless you take care of your acidity, this thing will, because he has given a very definite statement saying that acidity jata tenna he jata. So you have to take care of the acidity, and these things can be taken care of.
Absolutely.
I think madam बरेचसे प्रश्न असतात आणि लोक बरेच म्हणजे अभ्यास करून विचारतात. एक लहानसो विसो घेऊया, ब्रेक घेऊया, परतून सुरू करूया, so that let them also appraise their question side.
Absolutely.